There will be Saints football, and we're talking about it. And quite frankly, it's surprising that the Saints have made the move that we've all been looking forward to, and we haven't even really talked about it that much because there's so much going on in South Louisiana. But we've got to talk about the Saints and the Rams on Sunday, and what you hope is the start of a new era at quarterback in the black and gold. Tyler Shough going to get his first start as an NFL player, the highest drafted Saints quarterback in 5 decades, 40th overall pick in the second round, and it is now his time. We talked a little bit earlier in the week about how difficult a matchup this is. You're talking about a Rams defense that has got back-to-back games with 4 or more sacks. If they get another one of those, it would be the longest streak with 4 or more sacks since Sean McVay took over in 2017. And I would suggest there's a decent chance that happens because the Saints, in terms of their pass blocking win rate, are right there at the bottom of the NFL. So Tyler Shough's got to be prepared for that. This is one of those situations where you kind of know what you're getting into before the game. It's not a situation where you're surprised by something. Kellen Moore, Doug Nussmeier, and that group in the coaching staff is well aware that it's going to be a challenge down in and down out for this Saints team to block the Rams, okay? So you've got to make things easy on your offensive line and on your quarterback every chance you get. And that just really comes down to one thing. This is such a boring and tired trope, but I don't have another way to say this. If the Saints cannot run the football on Sunday, Katie bar the door, because this thing is going to get out of hand in a hurry. Because if they are constantly dropping back to pass and constantly in third and longs, this offensive front against that defensive front has no shot. And we know from Tyler Shough's time at Louisville, looking at the highlights, looking at the lowlights, understanding what you get in him, he will make some very bad decisions under pressure at times. He's a good athlete. He's got a big arm. He's mature. He's thrown for a lot of yards. He's played a lot of football. He's not 21. But he makes some wild throws under pressure. In the NFL, that is a no-no. In college, you can get away with it at times. Defenses are slower. DBs are often confused. They don't catch it all that well. The NFL, that's going to be a nightmare. So you have to understand this going into this game. You're dealing with a defensive front that is hellacious. Jared Verse is going to be a nightmare. And so you got to run the ball. You've got to get the ball to Alvin Kamara. You've got to get the ball to Devin Neal. And you've got to let these offensive linemen fire off the ball. And you've got to let Tyler Shough get comfortable. This is one of those spots where you're playing against a really good defense, one of the best in the NFL. You're playing against a veteran quarterback who, oh, by the way, is really hot. You're talking about a guy who before the bye week had chucked up 25-plus fantasy points because he's throwing for 3 touchdowns and no picks time and time again. And your Saints defense has allowed 14 touchdown passes. That's 6th most in the NFL. It's a bad matchup everywhere. So this one could get out of hand, and that's not a comfortable spot for Tyler Shough to be in. You need to run the ball, you need to bleed the clock a little bit, and you need to keep things in front of Tyler Shough. Now, he needs to go into this game with a couple things in mind. One, get it out quick. Get it out quick. That first read needs to be there. If it's not, don't force something. Sack's not going to kill you too often. Not going to kill you. It's going to hurt, probably. Not going to kill you. So a sack is better than some ill-advised play. And this is my fear with Shough. It's not a fear of, can he make that throw? It's not a fear of, is the moment too big? It's a fear of wild, overly aggressive, ill-advised plays. I think he's going to do some good things in this game. But I think he's going to have some adverse circumstances. And that's why I would not have put him out there. But you've got to lean on that running game. And I almost said something I didn't want to say. What these pass catchers, Juwan Johnson, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, you have to come to play. You have to come to play. Because if those guys give you the effort they've given you for the last 3 weeks, Shough's got almost no chance there. You've got to catch the ball. You've got to get open. Break a tackle here or there. The receivers have been a net negative the last 3 weeks. They got to be a net positive. Flip it to the defense, which is the less intriguing part of this. But the defense did put up a fight last week. Like, the offense gave him no help, and that's why Rattler had to be benched and Shough had to come in. But the defense put up a fight. The Bucs are pretty good. I know they're down their top 2 wide receivers. But Chase Young looks great. That needs to continue. He was a problem from Tristan Wirfs last week. That needs to continue. And then we'll see what these young DBs have against Puka Nacua, against Devontae Adams. Like, you ready to go? We'll see if they are. But this matchup is not a positive one. It's not an advantageous spot to put your young quarterback in. And I think it's going to get a little ugly in SoFi on Sunday. That doesn't disqualify the rest of the Tyler Shough era. It does not. You got a chance to come back, go to Carolina, come back, get a bye, and then maybe settle things down. But I think it gets a little hairy. I've got this one 34-10. I've got the Rams kind of running away from the Saints. It's just hard for me to take a look at the entirety of this matchup and find the spot where I really like the Saints. Like, what matchup on the field? Is it just Chase Young because of the way that he's played? Maybe, but that's probably not enough. And Sean McVay knows that, and Matt Stafford certainly knows that. So this is not my favorite spot on the schedule for New Orleans. I have nightmares when I think about previewing this game about what you heard from the LSU beat against the Rams in that practice in August. There was apparently just a mess from start to finish for the Saints offense. I think you see a little bit of that on Sunday. So give me the Rams by I guess that would be, call it 4 scores. Call it 4 scores based on the fact that we're not going to go for 2-3 times. So 4 scores. I like the Rams big on Sunday. Hey, it's on. Thanks for watching Hunt on Saints. Before you leave, help us out a little bit. Hit that like button. Leave your comments in the section below. And hit that subscribe button so you get all our content right here from Hunt on Saints. We'll see you next time.